Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. This is the Tru Ball Execution. It's the latest wrist release aid offering from Tru Ball Archery, and it's a high-end wrist. It kind of replaces the Execute, but it doesn't. They've changed the design of the head. I'm assuming this makes it easier to shoot. Now, what makes this wrist release aid different to others is it's a sear mechanism. So that's the trigger, and this is to cock it. So you press this button here to cock it, and then you move that down. So shoot, cock it, move that down. So a lot of the other wrist releases are just clicked. They're either automatically closing, so the jaws automatically close, or you move this upwards or backwards. So they're more suitable for hunting. This is more of your target release aid. There's no reason why you couldn't use it for hunting. I don't think people would, because of the noise aspect. It's not overly noisy. It's got a good wrist strap. It comes in two models. One's with the strap here that you can adjust, and one is with a solid rod here. So let's try it on and let's have a shot. Now, normally when I shoot, I have my finger behind the trigger. It's going to be hard with this release aid. And before doing this review, I watched Paige Pierce speak about this release aid, and she holds her finger, a pointy finger that she's going to trigger with on top. Now this also has a lock-on system to sort of lock the strap in place. So we're just going to sort of try it, see what it's like, see how easy it is to shoot. With it, when you're trying release aids, you know, you've got to really try it. When I say you've got to really try them, you've got to try them. Like, I don't know how the length is going to be. I don't know how my fingers, how easy it's going to be to load. So you've very much got to try the release aid. And then you might be able to make adjustments to the release aid. The trigger's very, very fine. To me, it feels better than the thumb release aids, which have a similar mechanism. Now, to me, I was looking for the trigger up here, so I'm going to make this strap longer for me and see if that feels better in the shooting, because that was rather, I'm going to say, awkward. My finger was kind of touching here where I want it down here. So we're going to lengthen this. Okay, so when you're adjusting, when you loosen this strap here, it's got a clamp. These little jaws here come out, and then you can kind of pull this out. Now I'm going to say it's quite a tight connection, so we're going to lock that back in. Now this strap system is obviously better than the other Tru Ball strap systems that they have. You can see this clamping back into place now as I tighten that in. Look, it's more expensive. The strap itself is very comfortable. It's all it's like wetsuit material here. It's quite comfortable. Buckle system. This release aid's second hand, which is why I'm testing it. So one of my customers had this release aid, and they wanted to try another release aid. Thing good about buying a release aid second hand is you get to try it, and you can pretty much sell it at what you paid for it. Because often when you want to try a release aid, you don't know if you're going to like it or not. And when you buy it new, you're going to wear the loss. So that was a lot easier to load, so my thumb was in a better position. The trigger, again, the trigger is beautiful. My finger is still there. I'm not getting my finger where I want it to be. So we're going to lengthen this strap again to see if I can get it to feel more comfortable. Now, when I shoot a wrist release aid, often I have trouble locking into my jaw or face position, but I find it it flows back very, very nicely in the shot. My mum always shot a wrist release aid, and she shot obviously very well, winning Australian championships. And I've always shot thumb or back tension, so. And I've never shot a wrist. One thing with the clamping mechanism on the execution, you don't really know how hard you can tighten it. It locks in and it's very, very hard to move. So I'm just hoping I sort of tighten in the right amount. Now this is even easier for me because you can see my thumb is now in the right place. I still feel the triggers not quite where I want it to be. Maybe I don't want a swept back trigger. Maybe I want the trigger to be up further. Maybe I need the strap longer. Like the release aid feels great to shoot. Like I want my finger there. I want my finger wrapped around the trigger, but to do that I feel like I'm twisting my hand around. As far as a trigger, it's as good as anything I've ever shot. I'm like feeling for the trigger, and there it was. Like it's obviously becoming more comfortable the more times I shoot the trigger. Look, I'm really starting to get comfortable with this trigger. So with that, I really like the execution release aid. So much so, I think I'll shoot an indoor round with it, which will be the first indoor round I've shot with a wrist release because it feels extremely comfortable. And let's see sort of how well I shoot with it. So I'm Stephen Hand from Tru Ball Execution. Thanks for watching.